Hi guys, welcome back to an episode of DB Cars, and today's episode I'll be showing guys Tribecar Mitsubishi Attrage. So let's dive straight to this video right now. Alright then, so here is guys the Mitsubishi Attrage from Tribecar itself. So basically this is the facelifted Mitsubishi Attrage or Mirage. That's the alternate name that this car has. So yeah, basically I'll be running through with you guys the damages for this vehicle, if there's any, before I show you guys the trunk space as well as the interior of the vehicle itself. So let's dive straight to the exterior of the car first. So before I show you guys the damages, if there's any. So starting out with the front of the car itself. So basically, if you guys previously seen my review for the get-go Mitsubishi Attrage, that is the pre-facelift Attrage itself. So basically this is the facelifted one you're looking at. The things they have changed on this vehicle is they basically changed the whole front end as well as the back end, plus also some minor touches in the interior itself, which I'll show you guys later on. But going back on the topic of the changes they did for the front of the car itself, so basically for the front of the car itself, they give the car a whole new brand new headlight itself. So basically this is a different headlight to the pre-facelifted Attrage. Plus also they give the vehicle a whole new front grille as well as a new bumper itself. So technically it's quite obvious, you can see the difference from the pre-facelift and facelift vehicle itself, with the much more aggressive front end itself, and there's two fog light right at the bottom itself. But I'll probably show on screen right now the front of the pre-facelift Attrage and this side by side. So basically you guys can definitely see the difference between the facelift and non-facelift itself. So there's definitely some difference to it itself. Alright, let's actually move to the rear itself. Let me just show you guys the rim itself. So if I'm not wrong, these are the new rims that come with the facelifted Attrage itself. So this is how it looks like, but unfortunately, as you guys can see, it has definitely suffered some wheel curve, like right here itself and over the vehicle itself. So that's the unfortunate side. But technically this car, if on the CSD, is quite cheap itself. So yeah, it's meant to be itself. So yeah, same goes for that back itself. But looks from the back wheels doesn't look that bad, only the front driver's side look quite bad itself. So yeah, but now let's move on to the rear of the vehicle itself, which is how it looks like. So basically this is the rear of the Mitsubishi Attrage facelift. So basically same thing, I'm going to basically the same thing like what I mentioned earlier on is this is a facelifted one. So they changed the tail light for it. So this is a different tail light to the pre-facelifted one. Plus also they give it a more aggressive rear bumper itself with the reflectors right down below here itself, you guys can see on either side. So I'll also put screen right now the pre-facelift rear, how it looks like. So basically, as you guys can see, there's definitely some obvious changes they did to the rear itself to make it look more aggressive and nicer looking itself. So yeah, if I'm not wrong, at night this will be like the main tail light itself, where when you turn on the lights, this will turn on and you got your indicators, your right turn signal, as well as your reverse light right here itself. So yeah, and that you also got two parking sensors right at the bottom, right down here and here. So that's it. But and that, I think that's basically it for the outside changes for the Mitsubishi Attrage itself. So yeah, now let's talk about the damages for this vehicle, if there's any. So the only damages I can see so far is basically the rims, which I'll show you guys at the front. Unfortunately, the vehicle suffered some wheel curve during its rental period with Tribecar itself. But another thing, I think this is it pop up by itself, which is this trim right here, which already pop up by itself during its time. There's some leaf, let me just clear that out. So yeah, that's basically one damages for this vehicle. So yeah, moving on to the other side. Basically the trim pop up on that side, same goes for here as well. So it's an unfortunate thing. So yeah, by right I think you're able to push it back in, but it seems like just one to comes out by itself, so I'm not going to touch on that either. But speaking of wheels on this passenger side, not too bad, I would say. So yeah, and that's basically it for the car itself. So that's just the damages for the vehicle itself. So now let's move on to the next topic, which is the trunk space for the Attrage itself. So basically, to access the trunk space itself, there's technically two ways you could do so. So one way is via the key, which I will show you guys. So basically this is how the key looks like. So basically got lock unlock and the trunk button, so you can press on that and the trunk will open. If not, you can always press on this right here itself and the trunk will open up for you as well. So looks like we got someone's shoe inside there. So yeah, but that's the second way to open up the trunk space. For the previous facelifted for the pre-facelift Attrage, you have a lever right in the driver's side right there, which you can pull, which is right here as well. So there is 3 ways to access the trunk space for the Mitsubishi Attrage, which is quite good itself. For the fuel door, if you're wondering how to access the fuel door on the vehicle itself, basically just lever right here, just need to pull on that. The more inner one, just pull on that and you're able to access your fuel door itself. So yeah, let's go back to the topic of trunk space for this vehicle itself. So basically this is how the trunk space looks like for the vehicle itself. Fortunately, you don't really get any latch to fold down the rear seat like some other cars do. So basically what the space you have is basically it. You can't really fold down the rear seat for this vehicle itself. So yeah, I'll probably just show on screen right now the amount of trunk space this vehicle has itself. So basically this is how much space this vehicle has itself. So yeah, in my opinion, I think not really the best, but if you want if this was just your temporary car for time being, I think it should be able to last you for a short while. Or let's say you're getting some minor stuff, or not minor stuff, maybe a short trip to IKEA, maybe it should be able to put stuff. But if let's say you're buying furniture from IKEA, then this is definitely not the way forward itself. So yeah, and that's basically it for the trunk space. To close it up, just give it a good slam, or just give it a good slam and the car is just closed already itself. So now let me just show you guys the rear of the car itself. So let's jump straight to alright then, now let me just show you guys the rear seat of the Mitsubishi Attrage. So stepping right in is a big problem because even though he do open quite, so you're able to just step right in without any issue itself. So yeah, stepping right into the vehicle, this is basically how it looks like for the vehicle itself. Basically the rear of the car itself, if you previously had driven a pre-facelift Mitsubishi Attrage, stepping right into this vehicle itself is no different itself, because in my opinion they didn't really change anything to the rear of the vehicle itself. So yeah, plus also there's no seat pocket right in the okay, there's no seat storage space on the door itself, but there's a very weirdly placed one right at the bottom itself, so you're able to put stuff right at the bottom itself on either side of the driver and passenger side itself. So yeah, and then you also get an armrest which you're able to rest your arm on and also put your drinks itself. So yeah, if anyone wondering where the rear cup holders for the vehicle itself, is hidden beneath the center armrest itself. So yeah, alright, so basically how does it feel like to sit in the rear? Well, basically I still got about, I would say about 1.5-ish of legroom space in the vehicle itself. Headroom wise also not too bad. I got about 4 fingers of headroom space wise in this vehicle. So yeah, I think if you are slightly taller, like maybe 1.8, 1.9, you're definitely going to struggle with the headroom space for this vehicle. So the only way if you want to sit in this car, you have to do in a slouch position, so that's not really the best itself. So yeah, but let's move on to the middle row seat right now. So let me just scooch my way over. So one good thing for this vehicle is at least it's for Japanese cars, which I really like, is at least their transmission torque is not really that high compared to some of the continental cars. So once in the center, you can definitely notice that there is a slight, there's an indentation on the seat where you're supposed to sit at. So I think usually the center seat in this vehicle is not really meant for sitting, so that's one thing. But in the center itself, at least you got tons of legroom space, which is quite good. I think it's almost about 2 legroom space wise, currently set on this position set by the previous person itself. So yeah, but if let's say the front passenger or driver were to adjust its position, then definitely the legroom space right in the rear will be reduced itself. So yeah. Alright, last but not least, there's just want to mention some of the amenities that you get in the rear. Fortunately, you don't really get any rear AC vent in the rear itself. Same goes for center lighting itself. So there's nothing in this vehicle, just your door release handle. just your door release handle to get out of the car, your windows to wind down the window if you want to, and this lever right here to close the door, as well as another grab handle right here to hold on if let's say the vehicle is going through tight corners itself. So yeah, other than that, nothing much to say about the rear itself. So let's jump right out right now, and I'll show you guys the front of the car itself. So let's jump straight to that. And if anyone wondering, this is how it looks like for the dashboard of the facelifted Attrage itself. So yeah, let's jump straight out right now. So basically getting out of the car is also not a big issue because, like I mentioned already, the doors open quite wide, so I'm able to get out of the car without any issue itself. So let's talk about the front of the car right now. Alright, before I step right into the car itself, so basically going back on the topic where I mentioned about the key earlier on, so this car actually does come with keyless entry itself. So basically, if let's say you want to lock the vehicle itself without taking the key out from your pocket, you can just basically press on this button right here itself, and the vehicle will lock and the mirrors will fold in itself. So, and you're able to just walk away. Let's say you're coming back. If I'm not wrong, usually you have to use the key to unlock it, but let's try it out whether you're able to unlock it with this button right here. So press on it, vehicle unlock, and you're able to get in just like that. It's very simple itself. So yeah, stepping right into the Attrage, this is how it looks like. So basically there's some like what I mentioned at the start of the video itself, there's some minor changes that I can see so far that they did for this vehicle itself. One thing is the gauges itself, which you are seeing right here itself. That is definitely a small, this is a small changes itself, which I don't think many people will notice if let's say you're driving the pre-facelift and facelifted Attrage. I think they did some changes to the font size or something to the dashboard itself, but other than that, it's still the same as the layout is still the same as the pre-facelifted one itself. So yeah, now let's move on to the wheels. So the wheel is also another thing which I noticed they changed for the facelifted Attrage. So basically what they changed is they introduced the function of voice command for the vehicle itself, as well as the ability to pick up and end call through the wheel itself rather than touching through all this. So yeah, that's one thing. Last but not least, they also added cruise control for this vehicle itself. So you're able to set your cruise control. Yeah, basically able to coast the vehicle you're able to set the vehicle at a certain speed and maintain it there for a long distance of time rather than always having to have your foot on the accelerator itself. So yeah, last going back on topic of this itself, I think they added in Bluetooth audio for this vehicle for the facelifted model itself, so that's a good thing. If I remember correctly, the pre-facelift one doesn't really have that option, so that's a good plus point that they added in. So yeah, now let's talk about storage space for this vehicle itself. So storage space for this vehicle itself, basically just got one storage space right here itself, but unfortunately it looks like it's someone's junk drawer. So as you can see, basically there's food left over by the previous person, which is simply not cool, man. So, and got a receipt from McDonald's itself. So don't know whose order it is, but apparently this guy ordered double cheeseburger. So yeah, interesting. Just don't worry, I will probably take that out after this review ends to clean out the vehicle itself. So yeah, but moving on to another storage space you get for this vehicle itself, you get another one, a small one right here itself, where if you want to, technically you're able to put your phone if you want to itself, as well as you got a USB type A port right there if you want to charge your phone itself. So yeah, and that you got two cup holders right here, your gear selector right here itself, which I think is the same as what I remember, other than them maybe adding in the B function, which is basically slowing the car down via regenerative braking, if I'm not wrong. You got your handbrake, which is still the same as the pre-facelifted one, and same as usual. Okay, that's good. Yeah, and same as usual, you got this glove box, which is extremely small and completely useless itself. So yeah, I don't think you can put anything big inside there. At most, if you do not want to put your stuff there, you could technically put it right here itself. So your wallet or your phone can technically throw them right inside here itself. So yeah, let's move on to this center part right now itself. So center part this area right here itself, this is basically the same as what I remembered from the pre-facelifted Mitsubishi Attrage. So basically, you got your fan speed control button right here, your climate control button right here, your various mode for how you want to add the AC to be blowing at you, the recirculation function in the air, in the cabin itself, the auto climate control, front and rear defrost. I think this basically turn on the AC, and this is turn off the AC itself. So yeah. Moving on top, you just got your infotainment itself with the volume knob right here to adjust the volume, as well as to turn on and turn off itself via pressing on it itself. So yeah. You got various shortcut keys right here. So basically, this go back to your home button. I think this is basically for the same function as this right here itself. So you're able to answer call through this shortcut key button, or this it could technically be your phone button itself, your back button, and I think this is the toggle between the dark mode and non-dark mode. I think probably got to try that out later on itself when I turn on the vehicle itself. So yeah. Moving on to the stock of the vehicle itself. Basically on the left hand side, you got your wiper switch, which you're able to adjust it by going all the way down or all the way up. One time up for just a swipe of the wipers, and if you want to wash your windscreen wiper, just need to pull back and just spray some fluid, and you're able to wash your windscreen itself. So yeah. And right at the far right, this knob right here itself, you're able to adjust the frequency of it itself. So yeah. Move on to the other side, you got your indicators as well as your light control switch itself. So basically, indicators just up or down, nothing much. And you got your fog light button right here itself with the niche knob right here, and your light control switch right here with the knob itself. So yeah, that's basically it itself. Moving on, you just got moving to back to the wheel itself. Right now, you just got your various cruise control button. So basically, you're able to set the cruise control button via pressing on this and just pressing down, and you're able to set the speed you're going. If let's say you want to increase speed, you can just increase or decrease via this button right here itself. So yeah. To cancel the technically, if I remember, to usually for most of the cruise control button, the way to cancel the cruise control is just by stepping on the brakes, and you'll just cancel out the cruise control itself. So yeah, if not, I think technically you're able to do so via this button itself. So yeah. Last but not least, you just got your traction control button right here, as well as the headlight dimming button button right here, which you're able to dip or raise the headlight itself depending on your preference itself. And on the far right hand side, you got your mirror adjusting, which you're able to adjust the mirrors via switching this lever to the left or right hand side. So basically, if you want to adjust the right hand mirror, which is that right here, that right there, you just switch it to the right, and you're able to adjust it with the D-pad thingy itself. So yeah, once done, just go it back to the center, and you'll just go, and you just go back to the center, and that's basically it itself. So yeah, to fold the mirrors in, just press on this, and you'll just fold the mirrors in itself. So yeah, other than that, that is basically it for all the controls in the dashboard itself. Last but not least, just got picking up the doors right now. You got your some storage space to put your drinks if you want to, as well as you got your mirror control switch itself, which is right here with these 4 lever buttons right here itself. So yeah, right here itself, you got the various function. You got this button right here, which prevents people from winding down the windows on either side itself. So basically, once you press on that, people behind you and beside you won't be able to wind down their windows itself. So yeah. Last but not least, you got your sun visor right here itself with the mirror, quite nice. Fortunately, don't really have any light itself. Only light is this thing right here itself when the doors are open. If not, you could technically off it if you want, if you do not want to, or other way when you want to turn on the light itself. If not, I can just leave it in the center when the doors are open itself. So yeah. Oh yeah, speaking about the sun visor, you're also able to swivel it to one side to block the sun from coming towards you itself. So yeah, and the same for the passenger side as well. So you got mirror as well as the function to block out the sun from that direction itself. So yeah, and that is basically it for this vehicle itself. Let me just show you guys the adjustment for the wheel and the seat before I turn on the car and show you guys the infotainment itself. So basically, to adjust the seat itself, to adjust the wheel itself, basically there's this lever right here itself. Just pull on that, and as you guys can see, the steering wheel just drop immediately. To adjust it, just raise it up, and once you're at the position you want, just lock it in, and it'll lock it in place itself. So yeah, to adjust the seat itself, there's basically this lever right here which you can pull on it, and you're able to adjust how far or how back you want it to be, how far or how back you want your seat to be itself. To adjust the height, it's basically this knob right here itself. Just twist on that or untwist it for the height itself. And to the angle of the seat, this lever right here, so just pull on that and you're able to adjust the angle of the seat itself. So yeah. Oh yeah, and lastly, I forgot to mention there's also a 12-volt socket outlet right down below there itself, if anyone's wondering itself. So yeah, now let me just turn on the car for you guys to show you the various functions. So basically, for the brake itself, and the start-stop button is right here itself. So basically, the vehicle now on. Yeah, it's like a few moments to prime up itself. So yeah, okay, let me just show you guys this screen right here first. So basically, this screen, this is the only thing that you see. If you want to adjust this screen right here itself, just press on this lever right here, and you're able to cycle through trip A and trip B function, as well as your odometer, plus also the range to MP, which currently it has 110 miles before it ran out of fuel itself. So, and also you're able to see your average fuel consumption, the temperature outside. I think this is the service mode, and back to odometer itself. Plus also you got your gear, you're in right here itself. So yeah, okay, let's talk about the infotainment right now itself. So basically, infotainment itself, if you want to go back to the home screen, just press on this. You're able to go back to your home screen, and you got FM, AM radio, as well as Bluetooth audio, which you're able to connect it to your phone itself. So basically, you just go to Bluetooth audio, just check, search for the vehicle name on your phone, and once you find it, you'll just pair it up. Just do the very simple function just of pairing the car audio to the car infotainment to your phone Bluetooth. Once connected, you should be able to use your phone itself via the infotainment itself. So yeah, basically for this you got the same thing, but I think this is, you have to connect your phone to it in order to use the keypad itself. So yeah, back, you got the back function. This, yeah, this basically the dark screen and non-dark screen mode for you. Like if you, let's say you're at night, you don't want it to be too glaring, just press on this itself. So yeah, to mute the audio, just unmute it by pressing on it, and you're able to adjust it accordingly itself. So yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, I think that's basically it for this video itself. If you guys enjoyed the video itself, do click the subscribe button down right below to see more videos like this, or click subscribe and please see my 2 other videos. And with that, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.